Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's dive right in. Okay, so one of the most asked questions when wanting to create a social media strategy is, what should I post? If you're scratching your head for ideas, then keep on watching. Are you someone who waits to be inspired for things before taking action like creating, or are you someone who plans to get inspired? Let me explain what I mean by this. I know for sure you're someone who's had interesting moments in their lives, because we all have. If you have a solopreneur business, you can draw direct inspiration from your life when thinking about creating content. What I urge you to do weekly is to start keeping a journal, even if it's just on your phone. Use it to jot down cute little stories or little experiences you have throughout the week, epiphanies, realizations. These are your personal stories that you're going to use to start crafting your unique story on social media, or continue the narrative you've already got going. If, for example, say you are instead a small business owner with a brick and mortar shop, something you can do is to ask your employees if there were any particularly special interactions they had with any customers throughout the day, throughout the week, anything noteworthy like that. Or you could think about something you or the team has been able to learn, any obstacles you've been able to overcome lately leading to the growth of your business ultimately. Your followers want to learn about your triumphs. They want to cheer for you and to be inspired, but they also want to hear a bit about your thoughts. It's okay to tell them a little bit about your struggles with your business, because that's what makes us all human. Now, there's no need to go into extreme details about negative experiences that you've had, but it is okay to share something like that if you've struggled with your business, as most of us have. That's relatable content. So maybe you talk about how you struggled to scale your business. You started out and you were successful and you wanted to scale at some point, and you struggled getting from point A to point B. You can talk about that. It's particularly great if, now you've had a success story and now you've been able to grow and scale and are very successful. But even if you're in the midst of that, being able to share your story and your journey is very powerful. So I want you to focus on this journaling without any pressure, and then I want you to think about your content from there. What story does it tell about you and your business? This is about the connection that I want you to make with your customers, and that's why it's so important. You could maybe try a role reversal, okay? So picturing yourself in the shoes of your ideal client. What would they want you to say if you were speaking to them directly? Now, I'll go into this in another video, but if you haven't thought about this too in depth with your business, which I assume you probably have at this point, you're thinking about your client avatar or your ideal client. And that's what I'm trying to get you to think about here in this scenario. You're not just thinking about, oh, what content can I make? But you're thinking about, what content am I really making for my community? What content is going to be valuable and useful to their lives? Okay, so once you have the answers to these questions, the questions of, what would, if I were in their shoes, if I were in my clients' or ideal customers' shoes, what would I want me to say to speak to them directly, to answer their question, to entertain them, to solve a problem for them, okay? So once you have the answers to these questions, you can try to think of photos that will then embody the spirit of who you are or of who your company is as a brand. If you're a flower shop, for example, okay, so yes, you do want photos of beautiful flower arrangements, of course, but think about also incorporating photos with staff, favorite customers. Think about showing photos of an event where your arrangements really shine. Think about sharing powerful stories associated with your brand. That's what really resonates with people and what they connect to. Taking another example of a brick and mortar shop. So if you're a coffee shop, maybe consider the origins of the coffee beans that you use. If you can tell customers about the farms, if you can showcase events that happen in your shop, if you have handmade cups that you sell, maybe, and the local craftsperson has a unique story to tell about them. The possibilities really are limitless here. Once you have a story or a caption, that will inspire you to pair it with photos that really make it shine. Now, I don't want you to get stuck thinking that you have to do a long caption every time, of course, right? There's a lot of different studies. Some of them show that longer caption photos work really well on a platform like Instagram. because people can connect with them. It's almost like microblogging. They're telling this long sort of story in this format and connecting it to this video. But I don't want you to get hung up on that, right? I really want you to focus on telling the story. Don't think that you have to do a long caption every single time. Focus on the power of the story. So this is what you're going to think about when you think about how a human being connects to a business. So look at similar businesses to you to draw inspiration from them as well. You obviously don't want to copy what they're doing, but it may give you insight into things you hadn't previously considered. Put your own spin on whatever you do. Make it yours. If you already have a following on social media, don't underestimate the power of polling your audience, asking them via a post what type of content they'd like to see from you. You may be surprised at the results. And quick pro tip, that's also going to help you with your engagement with your audience. You might want to consider grouping your posts by theme, right? So if you're thinking about planning out your posts, planning out your content, you could pick 3 different categories of things you're going to share. So if you're a restaurant, it's like maybe one category is going to be a spotlight on the staff. Maybe another category is going to showcase farms that you work with or local businesses that you work with. Maybe another category is going to just be gorgeous food photos, whatever you want to do. So sharing useful tips related to your products or services 1 day per week is another example. Inspirational quotes on another day of the week. Recipes if you're a food brand, social media tips as a social media manager, etc. So you want to think about things in your niche market that are related to your ideal client and to your audience, right? So really, what is the bottom line here? You want to remember to provide value and delight to your customers. That's really what you want to drive at every single time. Craft a powerful story, make the connection, add a photo that's going to be beautiful, high quality, and really show off your stuff. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, consider subscribing for more great content from me. Leave a comment below with what you'd like to see in an upcoming video. I'll see you next week in the next video. Have a great one.